Good morning, everybody, and happy Independence Day weekend. Well, soon to be. Today is July 3rd. Tomorrow is July 4th, Independence Day. 250 years old. That is how many years we've been a country. And we've had our ups and downs. And that's to be expected because we're only human and we're not perfect. But I'll tell you, I have been watching a lot of videos from the Europeans that have been visiting our country for the World Cup. And I'll tell you, they got to experience just what it is to be American. And it was very heartwarming. I've loved watching them and experiencing what we have here. As it's been mentioned a couple times, I did live in a foreign country for a few years, and I do not regret moving back. You just do not appreciate what we have here in the U.S. until you live outside. I mean, yeah, you can visit all these other places, and they're nice places to visit. They're interesting, but when it comes right down to it, there's no place like home. Anyway, it has been a while since I have posted. Oh, by the way, yes, I am in the spirit of things. One of the best things, and I think the most appreciated things that we have here in this country that apparently they don't have in others, and I was shocked to find this out, is air conditioning. Oh my word. Oh, I have never been so grateful for air conditioning in all my life as I have this week. This week has been brutal. Haven't done a lot outside. I go out first thing in the morning, take care of livestock. There's not much to do first thing in the morning. And then I come back into the air conditioning, which I have turned off at the moment so you can hear me because it is rather noisy. I'll get a little bit more into this in a minute. But yeah, and then I don't go out again until about 8 o'clock. Now I can sit back a little bit more. Yeah, that's a little bit better on my back, a little bit. So, yeah. So it's been, it has been brutal heat this week. I don't know if it's the whole country. I know it's the east. And I guess I'm kind of an eastern. I guess anything east of the Mississippi. I don't know if they're having the heat west of the Mississippi or not, but they are for sure east. What I have done, and I don't know if you recognize my pictures hanging. I'm in the living room of my home, and I am sitting on my bed. You say, why? I'm confused. Okay, this is what I have done. Knowing this heat was coming. It's just me. I'm the only one here. And I know how hot it can get upstairs. And yes, it is hot upstairs. It's not right this moment because it's in the morning, early in the morning. Yeah, it gets quite warm upstairs. So, and since it's not fully insulated up there yet, I'm hoping I can be able to do that the end of the summer, maybe early fall. We'll see. All depends. Because it's not fully insulated upstairs, I mean, that heat really comes through that one section of the roof that is not insulated. So I was like, you know what? Why am I running 2 air conditioners to cool the upstairs and down here? And the 2 air conditioners I have, one is a freestanding unit that vents out the window, and the other one is a window unit. And it's like, I just did not feel like messing with the window unit. So it's like, you know what? I am going to move my bed downstairs into the living room. And I'm going to have 1 air conditioner running. I do have 2 fans. As you know, I'm in a 2-story shed. It's actually considered half a story, I think, because it's got the pitched roof, like that. And I hear a couple of goats that are not happy. I'll talk to you about them in a minute. So, yeah. So I've got fans in both windows upstairs, and they are blowing out so that the heat that accumulates upstairs goes out, at least in theory. Okay. So I've got that up there. And then, like I said, I moved my bed downstairs, which meant I had to take apart the futon that I had here in the living room because it wouldn't fit with the futon in here. So I took the futon apart. It wasn't very comfortable anyway. So that's stored upstairs. And I have the 1 chair here. It's just me, like I said, and Gracie. Yes, I said your name. She's sitting in the chair right now. It's worked out great. Of course, I had to be out yesterday, and yesterday when I got home, I discovered my front door was wide open. Yeah, guess where all my air conditioning went? So it was warm in here yesterday, but it has cooled down overnight, and it's gotten comfortable. So this has worked out really well. Gracie wasn't too sure when I first moved the bed down here. She's like, I'm not sure about this, Mom. But she has fully embraced it. So long as she's happy, she's been getting more attention. I take her with me when I can. I could not take her with me yesterday because I had a doctor's appointment, just little piddly stuff. And I had to go into town because Miss Lollipop got a poopy butt. And I tried a couple things first. I didn't let it go on for very long. Just, I know when I noticed her, okay, I gave her some Pepto-Bismol the next day. Usually when I give them Pepto-Bismol, if they have, just a little bit of an upset in the stomach, then it you can see improvement in their poop. No, all day, same consistency. Okay. So, and then I gave her, Wednesday evening, I gave her a dose of Valbazen, which is a wormer. I didn't see any improvement in the morning. So I texted my vet and I said that this is what I've got. This is what I've done. He asked me a couple other questions and it's like, yes, okay, this is what's been done. And so he said try and get he suggested a few things and he said to try and get a poop sample in. So I did that. It took me longer at the doctor's office yesterday morning than I thought it would. Thankfully, I took the poop sample with me to the doctor's office. Yeah, Thankfully, it's in a Ziploc bag, and it wasn't very much. But anyway, so I stuck Lollipop and Maggie in the weaning pen. I had let the ewes out just before the heat. They had finished their weaning time. They finished their special medicated feed, so they were ready to go. So thankfully, I had that space to set them aside. Even though only Lollipop had the poopy butt, I figured, you know what? Lollipop and Maggie are like this, okay? And they're always hanging together. And I figured, you know what? Whatever Lollipop has, it's possible that Maggie may have some of what the problem is, but she just hasn't started having the problem yet. So I figured, okay, whatever, I'll set them aside, and that way Lollipop's not too upset. Of course, yes, they're both upset because they want to be out with the other goats. So I took the poop sample in, and yeah, she did have some coccidia, and she had like 2 or 3 different types of worms. The valbazen did knock some of them out, but it doesn't cover everything that she had. So he gave me some other medicine that it's a powder form, and you sprinkle it on their feed. So that works out because I tried them yesterday when I got home, and they just locked it up. So I was concerned that because it's a powder that they wouldn't like get what they need, but yeah, it's apple flavored, so they kind of like that. So yeah, and yesterday when I had gone out to feed them and give them the medicine, I did notice that there was a pile of poop. It was kind of runny to begin with, but then it solidified, and in that poop was little white worms. So obviously the valbazen did work, and it did knock something out, but it wasn't going to treat everything that she had. So thankfully I got her early enough. She was still in good form. She wasn't lethargic or anything. She was, still very attentive and as active as Maggie was in this heat. So so they're in a pen by themselves, so I can feed them separately, and they're on dry hay and the medicine. They're still getting the medicated feed. I still had a little bit left. I was feeding it out gradually with the other feed for the goats. They were all together, so I figured that was going to help, but it didn't. This is what I was really surprised, because I feed the medicated feed so that I don't get coccidia, but she still had coccidia. So maybe I don't feed enough of the medicated feed, or like the vet said, that it doesn't necessarily prevent it completely, but it gives them a shot against it. Okay, so from what I understand. So anyway, and I only feed them the medicated feed when they're being weaned. If I could feed it beforehand, but it's like I don't have a what do they call it? A creep feeder system yet. Still working on that in my head. So anyway, so that's what's been going on there. Now my boys that have been helping me here on the farm 1 day a week, they've been away this week. I believe they're coming home, either got home last night or early this morning. So they're probably crashing today, or they're still traveling. I don't know. It all depends, because you're looking at a 4th of July weekend, and this is a big deal because it's 250 years, and so I'm not sure what the traffic's going to be like for them. I know that up in New Jersey, it would be awful, the traffic. So I don't know how bad the traffic would be right now for them, because of where they were traveling. But anyway, so they were going to call me today or possibly come out today. I said, no, we'll wait until after the 4th, and then we'll see about getting you back out. They're a great couple boys. They've been so helpful for me. And we are working on clearing pasture. Okay. I had a lot of trees in the main pasture, and I still have a lot of trees on the other side of the creek. And not big stuff. It's little stuff. Okay. Like most of it's like that. Some of it's like that. Okay. But that's about as big as it gets. And seeing as my battery powered Cobalt chainsaw, which I'm very ticked off about, finally kicked the bucket. Well, I haven't had a chance to look at it. It's the little wheel that tightens the chain that gave out. And I knew it was going to. I knew it was going to as soon as I saw it, as soon as I saw how flimsy and cheap it was. It's like, are you serious? It's like, I knew it wasn't going to last. And it didn't. It died. So now I do not have a chainsaw that I can take out away from the house to use. I still have my electric one, which I use to cut the larger pieces of firewood so they fit in my stove. But I don't have an extension cord though to go all the way down to the pasture. So, I mean, that's a long extension cord. So no, I'm not dealing with that. I did look into a still saw. We have a still dealer not too far from here. Because they have the, what they call it, quick start or something like that. But it still has the pull cord. And I tried it in the store, and I knew the first pull, I said, yeah, it's catching pretty quick, but I can still feel that it will be a strain on my elbow and my shoulder. Okay. And it's like, it's just not going to work for me. I'm spoiled with the battery powered, but they do have a battery powered one, but it's like $400. And it's like, well, I cannot, as much as I need one, I just cannot afford that right now. You know, I got all these other things I'm still dealing with, and it's like, I just can't do it right now. I'm hoping if I can get a chance to open up that chainsaw, the Cobalt one, and take a look at it. I don't know if I can replace that chain tightener or not. I noticed that you can get that type of thing for other brands. I did not see one specifically listed for Cobalt, but maybe if I open it up, I can see, I can tell, and we'll see. You know, if I can replace that, maybe I can get a little more life out of the thing, you know, and then save up money for a still. Because the nice thing about the still battery power one is they have a three-year warranty. So I thought that was pretty good. Whereas the Cobalt, this lame, very lame when it comes to a warranty. So in the meantime, since I don't have a chainsaw that I can use to go out and do the cutting things up when they're not here, the boys, when they're here, that's what they've been doing. They've been cutting trees down, separating the brush, piling up the brush. My nose itches. And cutting up the trunks and stacking them. So that's what they have been doing. So we haven't been doing a lot of other stuff. Haven't been mucking the barns out. And this week, there is no way I'm mucking barns this week. It's just, between the humidity with the heat, it's too much for me. I can't do it. I know I can't. So another kind of development is something that I have not mentioned since I've been here. Just because there's certain things, I mean, you don't have to share everything, right? Well, this property, the deeded property, is actually 2 separate parcels. okay? And they're not contiguous, which means they do not share a property line. And the other lot that I do not live on is the smaller of the two lots, but it has more hill, okay? Not that I don't have enough hill here, but that does got more hill, I think. And I've been debating for years what to do with it. Should I try to develop it? Should I fence it? It would be great for the goats. Oh, the goats would love it. However, because of where it is, I would have to have it fenced in. And in order to fence it, it would cost me a fortune, especially now. And debating on it, going back and forth, I have decided to sell the property. I've been in communication with a real estate agent, and of course we have the long weekend, so I don't even know if he's working on it right now. But yeah, it's going to be going up for sale. I have no idea how much it's worth. He was going to be looking into that to see what that kind of lot is going for right now. It would be nice if I can get enough out of it to pay off the two debts I have left. Even if I can get enough to pay off one of the two debts, that would help me out a lot. So I'll just wait and see. But you know, you do what you got to do, and it's just, I know that physically putting a fence up myself on that lot, which I have not fully walked, would be near impossible for me. And I understand that. You know, I understand my limitations. So it's going to go. I am grateful. You know, you wonder, like I've said before in the past, I know for sure, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that God put us on this property. Just the way that everything came together and how it came about, it's like, you know, I knew it. I knew that this was where we were supposed to be. I did not realize that I would be by myself so soon, but it is what it is, okay? And I often wondered why that other lot, because it was like the location of it was not really ideal, and is like, it's the only thing we're paying taxes on. Don't have to pay taxes on this, on the lot I'm living on, because of a variety of different things, okay? So it's like, I mean, the tax bill wasn't that high, but you know, when you're on a fixed income, every little bit, you know, like that's why the post office box wasn't that expensive, but I had to cut a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. Okay, so, you know, I dropped the post office box, so that saved me a little bit of money, and now I'm going to be losing this lot, and that'll eliminate a little bit of money that I have to pay out. So, you know, all these little things, okay, that I have done, they haven't decreased my cost of living a lot, but every little bit, it adds up. So that's how I look at it. So anyway, so that's going to be going on the market, hopefully by next week. We'll see. I have an appointment with a lawyer to have that lot to separate the two lots onto two separate deeds. Okay. and I have to get my husband's name off the deed. I don't have to get it off the deed, but since I have to do this other thing, I might as well just, the deed will be put into my name only. And it'll be done, and then I can hopefully sell it fairly quickly. So, and then that'll be somebody else's issue. So that's what's been going on. Having my bed downstairs on the main floor, it's just the way I have it set up. It's not a problem. Like, I have a wall over here that separates this part of the home from the kitchen and the wood stove area. So it's fine. I've got a chair over there. I have a few other things I need to deal with in here, but I can't do a lot of work upstairs because it gets so hot. So if I'm going to do something upstairs, it's got to be first thing in the morning before it gets hot, or it's going to be something real quick. I know exactly where something is. I still have a ton of stuff up there I need to sort out, figure out what's staying, what's going, and actually organize it into boxes, because I still have a lot of stuff that I brought down with me when we moved down here, that it's like, why? You don't need it. Why? It's not necessary. So I got several things up there. Some things that I have that I really don't need. It's like, but there's some sentimental value to it. So I just got to come to that, and deal with that. But I am slowly getting things sorted through. So that's my home. I did touch on on Lollipop and Maggie. Like I said, Maggie's not really. I wouldn't be surprised if she has some of those issues that Lollipop has, but that wasn't evident, at least not yet. So she's being treated as well as Lollipop. So anyway, I touched on that. And the other thing is my pastures. Okay, like I said, I was working on getting the trees thinned, drastically thinned, and that's what we're working on. They're cutting the stumps like about 2 feet up from the ground. Okay, and they want to know if I wanted them cut down. I said, okay, no, because most of them are poplar, and they'll send up some shoots in the spring probably, and some of them will, some of them won't. Okay, and then the goats and the sheep will eat those as they're coming up. So and they will eventually die off, and then they'll rot, and I can easily knock them over. Okay, and take them out then. So I'm not worried about that. I just wanted to open up the canopy so that the ground was getting more sun. And now I'm looking at, okay, I'm going to need to seed. And I know I'm going to need to lime. I know I will. And I found out that, okay, if sheep have too much clover, they can bloat and have other issues. Okay? So I have enough clover on this property. I don't need any more clover. Okay? And trying to get seed, I went to the feed store, and I said, do you have any pasture mixes that do not contain clover? And he looked, and no, they all have clover. Well, most people have cattle, okay? And the cattle benefit from the clover. Well, sheep don't. Not so much. A little bit maybe, but not so much. So I don't need the clover. There's plenty on this property. So I've got to figure out what grass seed I want to spread on my pastures. Fescue is the most common and the cheapest. Okay, but too much of that is not necessarily good either. Okay, you need a mix. Orchard grass is good for partial shade. So there will definitely be fescue and orchard grass. But I want to see if there's anything else. If anybody out there has any suggestions on what other grasses, I will have to buy them separately and combine them, make my own mix. So it'd be nice if I can get like 4 different kinds. So if we got the fescue and the orchard grass, that's 2. Okay, so I like to get at least 2 more in the mix. Now there's ryegrass. Now that's good for cool weather. I believe that's a cool weather. See, I'm not real well versed on your warm weather versus your cool weather and stuff like that. So I want to mix. But I know that rye is a cool weather because I had spread that before. But that's something you have to do annually. It's not perennial. Be nice. I would like to get perennial stuff, and I think that the ryegrass, I believe, is annual. So, but I'm still looking into that. So I know it's probably boring for a lot of you who are not into this, but the pasture is very important. Okay, very important. It's the lifeblood. Because my pasture is not good enough for a horse and a bunch of sheep, I have had to feed hay. They're not getting as much as if it was the only thing they were eating. There is still some grass out there that they're able to get. But I don't dare. I mean, I could let the sheep out and there's still some grass around my cabin and whatnot and up on my hillside. But the problem I have is that they've been going over to my neighbor's. And he's got more grass than I've got. But with this, with the big holiday weekend, I'm sure he's going to be having probably family and whatnot over there. I figure he probably didn't want a bunch of sheep poop around. So I've been keeping the sheep penned in for this week. So his land has a chance to clear up. Yeah. So I don't dare let them out. I want to see if I can't figure out a way of fencing in from the top of my driveway up my hill so that I can keep the sheep in a little bit better. I can't get the whole area completely, totally enclosed, fenced in. But if I can like put enough fence up there so that they're not like making a beeline for my neighbors. It's just I'm just trying to figure out the fence post. Okay, I've got plenty of electric fence wire. Okay, that I can put up. I got plenty. That's not a problem. It's the posts. Now T-posts are just. I have some extra, and I could probably put them at key places, but that's a lot of work. Hauling them, pounding them in, and that T-post pounder just my ears. It just makes my ears ring. So I mean, I can do it, but I don't have enough to do everything. So what I could do is I could use that for like at the corner or something like that. But then I need something for the run. The T-posts, not T-posts, the rebar ones, I find that the kind of insulators that they have for them that screw on, over time they lose their gripping ability and they will slide. So, I mean, if I had one that was kind of setting on top, but they're okay for if you're just running one line, a single line. And for cattle, you can do that. Sheep, I think I need at least 2 lines. So that's what I'm looking at. I can do the step-in posts, the plastic step-in posts, but they'll warp. So that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, but I'm not sure. I still want to look in because so far I found two different kinds of step-in posts. One is the plastic, one's fiberglass, one's plastic, and the spacing, on them, they're not consistent. So, you know, they have two different kinds of spacings for their insulators. And another thing I don't like about them is that they have no kind of real grip on the wire. It's just, it slides very easily, you know, and if anything catches on one of the lines and pulls it, it messes up the whole thing, you know. So I wish there was one that had like a something that would clip onto the wire so it would be a little bit firmer, but it doesn't. I mean, I know you're going to get some expansion and contraction with various temperatures and whatnot, but still, it's like, I don't know why, if anybody understands why they have such a loose hold on the wire. It's just like sitting there, like, you know, oh, it's there, that's it, and it moves, you know. So, but anyway, so that's what I'm going through. I've got a bunch of step-ins. I don't think I have enough for as far as I would like to take the fence, but they're not terribly expensive. I can pick them up over time. So my biggest issue is at the top of the driveway, because you can't, because of the gravel, it's really hard to put a step-in post up there. So I'd probably have to do something different. It'd be nice if I could have something that swings, a regular gate, but I don't think that's in the budget for right now. So, and I have to leave space up the top to allow for the mail delivery to be able to turn around up there. So, anyways, I guess I should probably let you all go, and I hope you have a wonderful holiday weekend. Enjoy our 250th birthday, and just have a good time. Enjoy. I'm still hearing baby goats out there crying about not being able to go with the other goats, but they'll live. They'll live. They've only got to be in there for a minimum of 5 days. So, and I think it was, the dosage was 5 to 7 days, and I have a feeling that the 5 days will probably be sufficient, and then they'll be back out, and hopefully they'll be happy. But anyways, okay, this is Mom H with Honey Hollow Homestead. Sorry it's been so long since I posted, but it's been so hot, and it's been difficult to get the camera out and show you anything too much that's been going on. And also, when I have the boys here working, I can't video what they're doing. So hopefully I can show you before too long. So have a good one, everybody, and I will talk to y'all later.